are uninsured. I mean, we can talk about the situation as it exists or existed before health care reform, but what about this mob of people out there who have no coverage at all? What do we do about them?
Right. And I think that's a tough question, and the best way to approach it, I think, has to be, first of all, you try to make a system that prevents more people from falling into that crack. The second major way that I think you take care of them is largely from a charity point of view, which is what's going on now. You know, people could say, "Oh, charity, that's a ridiculous idea." That's the way they were always covered in the past. You had your big tycoons that made a lot of money. They basically bought and built the hospital system in America originally. And so charity is a piece of it. And today they're still covered under charity, except it's being laundered through the government, which is less efficient. And so to a certain degree, those people, if you give them the right system, at least the cost of their insurance or their medical care will be less than if you try to dump everything on the government.
So you're saying that we, the American public and the corporations, should take care of these people through charitable works?
I think that's the most efficient way to cover poverty in general.
More efficient than the government having a plan to do that?
I think it's more efficient because every time you see the government stepping in and paying for people's food, paying for people's housing, paying for people's health care, I mean, that's, if you take a look at it, what was the logic behind the system on the other side of the ocean? They said, well, the government's going to give you health care. The government's going to give you a place to live. The government's going to give you an education. The government's going to give you a job. And we said, we don't think that's going to work. And the Soviet Union collapsed. The government can't do all of those things. It just can't do it. And we've come to a point in Washington, D.C., where anybody who's, regardless of your political stripe, conservative or liberal, you look at the budget and you can't cheat mathematics. The numbers just don't work. And the government can't provide perfect health care for everybody and housing and food and provide for the national defense. You can't do all the stuff we're trying to do. It just doesn't fit. So somewhere you have to say, what does the federal government have to do?